There's nothing better than meeting a bunch of friends and going for a bike ride. Hello, I'm probably riding my bike. Today I've got my new camera and I'm going to go and take some pictures and ride some bikes with my friends. In my previous video I did a photo ride with my Ricoh GR3X. A wonderful little camera that I've had for about a year and a half. It takes amazing photos, but as with any hobby, it was kind of a gateway. I liked how it took great photos without really having to change any settings. But I decided I wanted something a bit more. Something where I didn't have to change the settings on the screen, something a bit more tactile. But a camera that's still fairly compact, good for bike rides. And the camera I chose was the Fujifilm X-E5. I looked at loads of different options for what to get. There were plenty of forums saying that it was overpriced, a hipster camera. Other cameras take better photos. But I always like the pictures that I see taken with these Fujifilm cameras. I wanted to try it out for myself. And I was just drawn to this one. A lot of hobbies, when you first get into them, seem kind of daunting. They have some similarities. Like the bike world. If you know nothing about it, it can be quite intimidating. There's always people with opinions, telling you certain things are rubbish and you're an idiot for getting them. You're a poser for choosing that brand. And while it's good to get people's opinions and ideas on things, sometimes you have to block out the noise and just do what you want. Perhaps I'm reaching peak millennial man. Making bikes my personality. Getting into cameras. Into specialty coffee. I've held off on the vinyl records for now. I don't think I'll ever be into golf though. But once you get into a new hobby and you're enjoying it, it's fun to dive deeper. With coffee, that could be getting your first Hario grinder and buying your first single origin light roast beans. Next thing you know, you've got multiple different drippers, coffee contraptions, and you're talking about whether you prefer washed or natural processed coffee beans. Or you're curious about steel bikes, so you pick up an old vintage mountain bike, stick some wide handlebars on it and a Strislin single chainring, and the next thing you know you're buying Rivendells and Crusts. And now with photos I was starting with a simple point and shoot, gradually building my way up. Who knows what kind of rig I'll have in a few years. I'm lucky enough to be able to afford these things, just about, and diving deeper is all part of the fun. Since I've started this channel, I've met so many awesome people through bikes. And I find most of the time when I meet these people who are into these kind of bikes, I have a lot more in common with them than just bikes. It could be cameras, coffee, clothes, and often food as well. And to celebrate the warm summer arrival, I suggested we go get some cold nudes. One of my favourites for Pyongyang Naengmyeon is Myeonok in Chungmuro. There's a queue already. We had planned to arrive a bit earlier to skip the queue, but I was on dad duties and came a bit late. Sorry everyone else. But the queue went quite quickly, it only took about 10 minutes. The good thing about going in a group is we can pick up the sides, like the cheyuk and these pillowy dumplings. Clouds of joy. Pyongyang Naengmyeon is like Marmite. People either love it or hate it. Some people say it tastes like dishwater. And some people say it's like a gloriously complex bowl of goodness. Worthy of a clean bowl club. Incredible lunch and onwards to coffee. I realised I haven't had that many photos in this photo video yet, but there's more to come. Don't worry. I guess this video has more than one main theme. Just like this channel. It's a bike channel, but it's mostly about other things. The bike is just the thing that holds it together. I forgot how good it was to ride in a little crew like this with your friends. It's been a while. A couple of my friends riding today bumped into each other recently and said we should go for a ride with Marcus soon. And they both messaged me to arrange it, which I was super grateful for. For the price I bought, a return to one of my favourite cafes that I haven't been to since before my twins were born. Unbelievably. We're back at Town Pond. Nick. Recently the owners got some bikes for themselves. One of the Surleys parked outside is theirs. Lovely to see. Some delicious iced coffees and cardamom buns. And a lot of camera talk. Youngju had his Fujifilm X-E5 as well. You can see it's well loved and well used. It was fun to have a go on this. He has it set up for black and white photos most of the time, it seems. Here's a few from the day. I got a nice little gift of a coffee sample to try when I got home too. Very interesting flavour on this one. And here's their lovely Surly. I thought as we're in the neighbourhood, and the theme of my last couple of my videos of photography, I thought we'd stop off at Chungmuro area to check out some of the camera shops. Let's go. If you listen carefully, you'll hear some secret plans for my bikes. Really? I can't remember. The one that's amazing. Yeah, I love Kamjatan. I'm going to put drops on the Atlantis. Nice. The Muro? Yeah. So I'm taking the brakes. I'm doing a big brake swap. I took the brakes off Susie already, to put on this. Okay. I'm putting the motor lights on Susie. Okay. And the canties on Atlantis. And I have some just tactile canties to put on Romulus when I sell it. I can't sell a bike with full brakes. Such a shit bike lane. The person who designed it doesn't ride bikes. Here we are at Chungmuro Camera District. Seoul has a lot of these districts that specialise in one thing. A lot of them are disappearing thanks to the regeneration of lots of areas and probably the proliferation of online shopping. It was something I noticed and was amazed by when I first moved here in 2009. How you had like a whole street just for nuts and bolts, and a whole street just for lighting, and a whole street just for cameras. It seems kind of sad to me that those things are disappearing. And I wonder how long this one will be around too. Pretty cool riding with a crew. different feeling. Today was a Saturday and lots of the camera shops were closed, surprisingly. But there were still a few to check out. This is one of the more well-known shops, Bando. They specialise in Leica. It's basically a Leica museum. They have a few other brands too. It's kind of interesting if you're into this brand. It's just the cases of cameras and lenses that I don't know too much about. There's probably a video out there of someone with a lot more knowledge than me could explain this neighbourhood and the cameras they have. But on the first floor here they've got a load of Leica stuff. On the second and third floor they've got more Leica and then Hasselblad stuff, and even a Brompton. Upstairs they got more used and vintage stuff. If I was going to delve into film, something like this would be cool. But film's a whole other world that I don't think I'm going to get into. I hardly have the time to ride my bike, let alone go and develop photos. I understand the charm though. You have fewer shots, so you take your time thinking about what you're going to take, and you just got to hope they're going to come out well. To me, the smaller shops were a lot more interesting than Bando. This is the place to go if you want to pick up a film camera. There are plenty of little point and shoots and some vintage cameras, digital cameras from the early 2000s, which seem to be quite a trend with the kids nowadays. There's a few shops where you can pick up film and get them developed as well. It was fun to look around. I think there's more camera shops around the Naengmyeon market area, which I'll check out another time. Let's go. The only real plan we had today was the cold noodles at the beginning. Those are the best kind of rides. You just go where the wind takes you. We'd seen enough of camera shops. It was time for another coffee. You don't want to go anywhere too close. We're here to ride our bikes. And we just enjoy meandering and weaving through the city. It's not delicious. I could ride all day like this with a group of friends. Cruising through the city, stopping now and again to have a chat, picking up your conversations where you started earlier, taking in the life of the city. Somehow with a group it feels much safer as well, more visible. But now I kind of find them disgusting. After the brief piece of the Chungmuro bike path, you could hear some noise in the distance. The far right congregation who love to spend time here every weekend. I have a feeling his voice might hurt tomorrow. We'll just keep going. I think it might be too big for her. She's gonna have more time. Some park for the homeless. Backstreets to the world. Well, this is new. This is all new. I think we've got to go that way. It's a hot day, so we better make sure we stay hydrated and refreshed. Gotta stop off at the 7-Eleven to pick up something. Maybe this is video 2 of posting Pocari Sweat until they sponsor me. For me, I think it's the most refreshing drink there is. Back in the day I was shotgunning cans of beer outside the 7-Eleven. Nowadays I'm downing cans of Pocari Sweat. 그냥 6개 샀어. 감사합니다. 죽지 마세요. Sponsored by Pocari Sweat. Much better than drinking beer. We've got a couple of climbs coming up, so I thought it was better to get everyone refreshed before that. Here's an example of the beauty of riding bikes. You just glide past the traffic. I think for a lot of journeys in Seoul, riding a bike is faster. Buses and cars might be desperate to get past you, but you always end up overtaking them anyway. It's pretty old. Because we got a bigger crew, we've been riding more on the main roads. But when there's any chance, the back streets are always better. We'll go on this road a little. Sorry. Here today I'm riding my single speed, so any hills I need to speed up so I don't lose momentum. But this one's just a little too big, so we opted to walk through the park, which was quite a pleasant break in the ride anyway. A good chance to slow down and take some more photos. On a group ride, I definitely don't stop as much to take photos. I think maybe with one other person or a solo ride would be the best kind of photo rides. But since I've bought this camera a couple of months ago, it's basically been attached to me at all times. Really enjoying playing around with it. In the beginning, setting mostly automatic settings and playing around with just the f-stops. And then trying out different shutter speeds and trying to balance the aperture and shutter speed. And even delving a bit into ISO. I've got a long way to go to really know what I'm doing. But that's all part of the fun. No one's an expert in the beginning. Most people aren't after a long time too.
That was the second one. Yeah. To be home for nap time.
We're almost at the cafe, our destination. Is there anyone familiar with Seoul who knows where we're going yet? Nestled within all this komorebi is another banger of a cafe. Another regular for me. We're at Capi. Time for a refreshing iced coffee. We had to go on each other's cameras and even rode each other's bikes. It was super fun hangout. Most of the photos today were taken with the lens that comes with the X-E5 if you buy it as a kit. The 23mm f2.8 Pancake lens. It's the perfect lens for street photography. I also bought another lens recently, which I'll show the photos from later. But first, the bike check that you've been asking for. I had a lot of comments for this one. It's Sinho's beautifully put together cross check. Lovely randonneur style. And you can tell he's put a lot of thought and effort into assembling this masterpiece. I haven't got a parts list. I'll let you just take it in.
They're kind of too small for me.
A truly glorious bike. Excellent taste for someone so young. At his age, I just had a taste for beer. Now onto my other lens. I was scouring Carrot or Dangun Market, which is a second-hand marketplace in Korea, and came across a Fujinon 50mm f2. I wanted a lens for taking baby portraits, basically. But it's excellent at taking bike portraits too.
Yeah.
When I get a new hobby, I get really into it. For now, the two lenses will do. Maybe later something in between. Sinho's bike is a pleasure to ride. I love the narrow bars in this world of wide bar trends. Having this camera has motivated me to take a lot more photos. Usually I just take pictures of my friends' bikes.
Yeah, perfect.
But today I was keen to take a portrait of them with their bikes. Here's Sinho with his cross check.
Next. 천천히 하세요. Can you get that way a little? Yeah, perfect.
Up next is Youngju with his beautiful Rivendell Clem.
감사합니다. Next. Oh, nice. Junho's ready.
Junho the second with his Panasonic MTB.
감사합니다. 다음. 잘 어울리네.
그 다음에 마커스도 찍어주죠. 멋있다.
멋있다.
Joe and his long haul trucker.
Pretty nice for summer. 준호 씨,
조씨,
Big 준호.
빅준호.
Beautiful.
Last but not least, Juno the First with his crust evasion.
감사합니다.
Oh yeah, and me with my rune nightwood. In the future I'm going to make more of an effort to take pictures of my friends
칼국수
and
맛있어.
other people I meet with their bikes.
없어. 아니, 다
And that reminds me actually, I've got a very exciting group ride coming up.
Last time I came.
Not in Korea this time.
없어.
I'm visiting back home in the UK,
Bye.
and I've organised a London social ride with the help with some friends.
Perfect weather for riding today.
If you can make it, it's on the
Quite hot, but not
11th
too
of
much.
July, a Saturday,
No, 습하지
and
않아.
we're meeting at London Fields at Story MFG headquarters. Saeed from Story MFG is a fellow
Want to try this cafe
bike
next
lover
time.
and also has multiple Rivendells. From London Fields we're going to ride out
Looks
through
nice.
Victoria Park and Olympic
2
Park
years?
out to Stayer Cycles in Leytonstone. Stayer are going to show some brazing workshop for anyone interested in joining their frame building workshop. And also they're going to have a couple of their carry-on cargo bike conversions to try out too.
It's
Should
very
be
nice.
super fun. And then we'll ride back kind of a loop
So wait, we're 17
back to
years
London Fields and Story MFG, where I think they're going to have an ice cream stand and you'll have a chance
On
to
Hanggang,
look at their
this single
beautiful
street, a little-
clothes. I'm nervously
Yeah.
excited, and I hope that you can make it and have a great time and you can make some new friends. There's more information on my channel page or on my Instagram, and we'll share a bit more about the route later on too. Don't be shy if you want a photo, because I might be too shy to ask you. Just come up to me and say that you'd love to have a bike portrait picture. On this ride, now most of us have gone our separate ways. Just passing this lost taxi in the bike path,
I think he's lost.
and Sinho is heading off to study,
Too fast.
while I'm going back to look after my babies.
Right soon. See?
I just need one more refreshment before I go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. See you later.